Welcome to the Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe in the studios of our flagship stations, 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99, where you can also find us in the Birmingham-Bloomfield area on Birmingham Area Municipal Access and on City Cable 15 of Southfield. Join us live on Channel 10 in Waterford every day on the Media Network of Waterford and live to tape on Channel 10 in Orion Township and Lake Orion on Orion Neighborhood Television, or ONTV. You can also find us on the radio in the Birmingham, Bloomfield, and Troy areas on 88.1 The Biff, a service of the Bloomfield Hills School District. Find us online on our Facebook pages at Civic Center TV 15 and on Lakes FM, on our website at civiccentertv.com, and on My Michigan TV, or MyMy, at mymytv.com. That's MYMITV.com, where you can also learn more about downloading their free MyMyTV apps for your smartphones and smart TVs. All that information is on our website at civiccentertv.com/megacast. We can also find all of our programs on demand and find each individual interview as well, and watch the Megacast at your pace on your time as you decide. Then let's head over to our news page, civiccentertv.com/local-news, where at the top of the page we have links to the most up-to-date information on COVID-19 from the experts at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and the Oakland County Health Division, so that you can stay up to date on everything that you need to know about the spread of COVID-19, precautionary tactics you may or may not need to employ in your daily life, depending on where you're at in the state of Michigan and beyond, such as masking, and as well as more information on where you can get vaccinated and get your booster shot or booster shots should you be eligible or be in need. Also on our news page at civiccentertv.com/local-news, we feature articles from many journalistic outlets throughout the state of Michigan to keep you updated on COVID-19 and other stories making headlines all across the Great Lakes state. Our top story today is from Jennifer Chambers of the Detroit News. Oxford Community Schools has changed course and decided they are indeed going to hire a independent firm to investigate the mass shooting that occurred in November of last year. Oxford Community Schools officials, acting sooner than it had declared it would on Tuesday, approved hiring a consulting company to investigate and review a November 30th shooting at Oxford High School. The board hired Guidepost Solutions and Investigations regulatory compliance, monitoring, and security consulting firm. The firm will perform an investigation and full review of what happened at the high school the day of the mass shooting and in the days leading up to the deadly attack. It also hired a new law firm, Farnham Attorneys at Law in Grand Rapids, to represent the district in investigations, reviews, and litigation connected to the shooting. Board President Tim Donnelly said the board has been committed to a thorough investigation of a shooting since its statement in December that it would launch a third-party investigation. Quote, "We understand waiting for civil and criminal cases to end does not serve this community well," Donnelly said, continuing on, "We can't wait any longer to get an independent understanding of what happened that day, and neither can you," end close quote. Donnelly says he expects the final report to be public. The announcement comes about a week after Donnelly, the district's top elected official, said a third-party review of Michigan's deadliest school shooting wouldn't be conducted until all litigation was resolved. Trustee Dan D'Alessandro said it's been frustrating, quote, for many, end close quote, on the board that it has taken so long for it to decide on a third-party investigation. Quote, "Our path forward is the truth," he said. "The only path forward to heal is to get the information back to you as quickly as we can," end close quote. Jared Watson, whose son Aiden was shot in the attack, told the board he was angry and wanted answers and that they are not listening. Quote, "I'm angry. Someone tried to murder my son. My Mayberry is shattered. It's gone," Watson said, continuing on, quote, "I need action now. I need answers. How did that kid get to class with a gun? It's been 6 months and we don't have answers," end close quote. Watson said he was trying to get his daughter through graduation and Aiden through the school year. Quote, "You can prevent it from happening again. I'm just a dad who sent his kid to school and he got shot," end closed quote, said Watson. Steve St. Juliana, father of Hannah St. Juliana, who was killed in the attack, attended the board meeting and said a lot of details were missing about how the investigation will work. Quote, "I'm thankful they finally decided to follow through with their promise," St. Juliana said, continuing on. "My expectation is that this will be a public report and fully transparent," end closed quote. 4 Oxford High School students were killed in the shooting on November 30th of 2021, those being Hannah St. Juliana at the age of 14, Madison Baldwin and Justin Schilling at the ages of 17 and Tate Meir, 16 years old. In addition, 6 students and a teacher were wounded. The global firm selected Tuesday helped the University of Michigan develop its response to sexual assault complaints and address the culture of sexual misconduct surrounding accused faculty members. It was also hired by the Sexual Abuse Task Force of the Southern Baptist Convention to conduct an assessment and investigation into the mishandling of past sex crimes allegations. Andrea Bitely, a spokeswoman for the district, said the school board earlier had received a recommendation to hire Guidepost from Varnum. The law firm has experience working with Guidepost in the past, Donnelly said, the school board president. The goal would be to issue a final report at the end of the investigation that is public, Bitely said of the investigation. The cost of such an investigation and estimates on how long it would take were not available as of Tuesday. Board Treasurer Corey Bailey said he predicts the investigation will tell the district ways that it can improve, saying, quote, "But it will also say our team did it right and had the best interest at heart in terms of active shooting training. Night locks, we shut the situation down as fast as we can. You are never going to shut evil down when it has a motive," and close quote, Bailey said. According to a letter from attorney Ronald G. DeWard, Varnum will perform legal services for the district at a rate of $210 to $670 per hour, and work would include meetings, office and telephone conferences, legal research, preparation and review of correspondence and documents. Oakland County Executive David Coulter lauded the board for agreeing to the probe, saying, quote, "I remain committed to supporting Oxford and applaud the Oxford School Board for launching an independent and transparent review of the horrific shooting at the high school on November 30th, Coulter said, continuing on. Such a review is necessary and should help restore the trust and sense of security that Oxford students and families deserve. Quote, "To truly heal as a community, we must all remain committed to listening and learning the important lessons that help prevent similar tragedies from happening again," and closed quote. Lastly, making headlines on civiccentertv.com/local-news. Also making headlines from the Detroit Free Press's Frank Witzel. Michigan auto insurance refund deadline has passed, so here's what you can do if you haven't received your check just yet. The deadline for auto insurers to issue $400 per vehicle refunds passed last week, and if you haven't received yours, state officials said you should ask your insurance company why. It was unclear how many people were still waiting for those refunds. Auto insurance refunds have been a key talking point for the governor in recent months in events and following a campaign promoting them as she seeks a second 4-year term in office in November of this year. On the deadline, May 9th, Whitmer put out a news release with a reminder that, quote, today is the deadline, and close quote, and instructions on what to do, quote, if you are eligible for a refund but you have not received it, and closed quote. Here are a few steps. Step 1, you got to ask the question, are you qualified? To qualify, residents must have had a vehicle insured in Michigan by last October 31st. The policy must meet the minimum insurance requirements for operating a vehicle on Michigan roads. If you are eligible to receive a refund, a check should have been sent to you or direct deposited into your bank account by your insurance company and not as a bill credit. You also should not have had to do anything to receive such a check. The refund is $400 per eligible car or motorcycle or RV, and $80 per historic vehicle. If you think you might be eligible but are unsure if you have an unusual situation, the State Department of Insurance and Financial Services has an online list of questions and answers for you to check. Step 2, call your insurer. If you change insurance companies, contact the one that insured your vehicle on that date, October 31st of last year. Ask whether your refund has been issued and verify your information with your company. Your check may have gone to the wrong address, or you may have had conflicting eligibility information involved on your statement. But if you cannot reach a resolution with the insurance company, or if you were offered a refund in the form of anything other than a paper check or a direct deposit, the Michigan Department of Insurance and Financial Services Director Anita Fox wants you to report that to the state. So that's step 3. Contact the state. The Department of Insurance and Financial Services, or DIFS for short, We'll ask you to call them at 833-ASK-DIFS or 833-275-3437. That's 833-275-3437 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and they will help you with your claim. Lastly, making headlines on civiccentertv.com/local-news from John Osting of Bridge, Michigan. A Michigan judge has suspended a 1931 abortion ban, citing, quote, irreparable harm, and closed quote, to women. A Michigan Court of Claims judge on Tuesday preemptively suspended enforcement of the state's 1931 ban on abortion, which would have gone into effect if the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. In a 25-page opinion issuing a preliminary injunction, Judge Elizabeth Gleicher wrote that if the landmark case that made abortion a federal right is overturned, Planned Parenthood of Michigan and their patients, quote, face a serious danger of irreparable harm if prevented from accessing abortion services, and close quote. Anti-abortion groups may challenge the injunction to the Michigan Court of Appeals. They have asked Gleicher to recuse herself because she has donated money in the past to Planned Parenthood of Michigan and represented the abortion provider as a volunteer attorney for the ACLU back in the 1990s. In its suit, Planned Parenthood argues Michigan's 1931 abortion ban violates the due process and equal protection clauses of the Michigan Constitution, along with state civil rights laws. Gleicher has not yet ruled on those larger arguments, but said the injunction was warranted because Planned Parenthood has, quote, a strong likelihood, and closed quote, of winning the case. The injunction bars enforcement of the 1931 ban, at least for now. Quote, this is a win for individuals, families, and communities, says Dr. Sarah Wallet, the plaintiff in the case and chief medical officer for Planned Parenthood of Michigan, in a statement. Quote, for those of us who provide abortions, it means we can continue to provide essential health care for our patients. Today's ruling means all Michiganders will continue to be able to access the health care that they deserve and to be able to decide for themselves their own futures, and closed quote. The Planned Parenthood lawsuit is one part of a broader effort to protect abortion access in the state of Michigan that would be jeopardized if the Supreme Court of the United States downs Roe v. Wade as expected after a leaked February draft opinion signed by 5 of the court's 9 judges went public. Separately, Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer has asked the Michigan Supreme Court to rule on similar arguments. Planned Parenthood and the ACLU, meanwhile, are also spearheading a petition drive that would amend the Michigan Constitution to guarantee abortion rights. Michigan's 1931 law, if reenacted, would make it a felony crime for anyone to perform an abortion in the state. The only exception would be to preserve the life of the mother. Violations would be punishable by up to 4 years in prison and or a fine of up to $5,000. Physicians who perform abortions could also face administrative penalties from the state, including entire revocation of their medical licenses. Clinics, too, could face potential penalties. Right to Life of Michigan and the Michigan Catholic Conference, who are defending the 1931 law because Democratic Attorney General Dana Nessel has refused to do so, had asked Gleicher to recuse herself from the case. Quote, any reasonable disinterested observer would question the appearance of the judge's impartiality in such circumstances, said John Bursk, the former state solicitor general, in a court filing last month. Right to Life and the Catholic Conference have also asked state courts to dismiss the lawsuit because plaintiffs, quote, lack jurisdiction, in closed quote, since the 1931 law is not actually in effect yet, and Planned Parenthood and Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sarah Wallet are, quote, under no imminent threat of prosecution, in closed quote. In a Tuesday evening call, Bursk said his alliance is considering next steps, but will, quote unquote, unquestionably take legal action to fight what he called, quote, an unprecedented and rogue decision, end closed quote. He continued on by saying, quote, this was all done in secret with parties who all agreed on the result, Bursk said, telling the reporters his group was not allowed to participate in the scheduling conferences with the judge, Planned Parenthood, and Attorney General. Quote, it's improper 6 ways to Sunday, end closed quote. Bursk also questioned the judge's ability to bar county prosecutors from enforcing the 1931 law. They can make, quote, independent charging decisions, and this decision cannot bind them, in close quote, even though what it purports to do, he said. It's not immediately clear what legal avenue anti-abortion groups would have to appeal Gleicher's ruling. Nessel, the named defendant in the state, said in a Tuesday statement that she had no plans to appeal on behalf of the state. Instead, Nessel called the injunction, quote, a victory for millions of women fighting for their rights, and said she will, quote, comply with the order to provide notice to all state and local officials under my supervision, and closed quote. The governor has also celebrated the ruling, but said she thinks it's still important for the Michigan Supreme Court, quote, to weigh in and establish the right to abortion under our state constitution. Quote, we must protect the rights of nearly 2.2 million women in Michigan to make decisions about their bodies because however we personally feel about abortion, a woman's health, not politics, should drive important medical decisions, and closed quote, she said in a statement. Planned Parenthood, the largest abortion provider in Michigan, operates 14 health centers in the state in Ann Arbor, Detroit, Ferndale, Flint, Grand Rapids, Jackson, Kalamazoo, Lansing, Livonia, Marquette, Traverse City, Petoskey, and Warren. The clinics provide, quote, medication and closed quote, abortion, where women can take pills to end pregnancies up to 11 weeks since their last period, according to suit. Ann Arbor, Kalamazoo, and Flint clinics also perform, quote, procedural abortions where physicians use suction and sometimes other instruments to end a pregnancy up to 16 or 19 weeks after conception. In fiscal year 2020, Planned Parenthood provided 8,448 abortions, 6,626 of which were medication abortions, while 1,882 were procedural, according to the suit. In its lawsuit, Planned Parenthood argued the 1931 law is written so vaguely that, quote, sheriffs, prosecutors, and courts could have broad discretion to assert that range of undetermined medical practices are a crime, and closed quote. There's much more in this article. We're out of time for this segment of the Megacast, so all those headlines can be found on civiccentertv.com/local-news, as well as those ever helpful links to the CDC, the MDHHS, and the Oakland County Health Division related to COVID-19. We have a great program ahead on this Wednesday edition of the Megacast. Coming up next, we'll be joined by Teresa Rutt, council member in the village of Lake Orion, followed by artist Lilian Delgado. That's up next on the Oakland County Megacast.
Whether you're the city,
the county,
or the Huron River Watershed Council,
we work together to protect water resources for everyone.
Most of the pollution entering our rivers is carried by rainwater that runs off roads, parking lots, and rooftops.
A rain garden helps catch stormwater runoff.
Rain gardens and their plants help dirty runoff soak into the ground.
You can do your part to help keep our water clean.
Learn about rain gardens and native plants.
So consider a rain garden in your home landscaping.
Catch the runoff with a rain garden.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
I couldn't breathe at all. There was lots of talk about putting me on a ventilator. I thought I was gonna die. I was 39 weeks pregnant and had a scheduled C-section. During that time, I got COVID and was hospitalized for a month. I had a blood clot in my lungs. It caused me to go into right-sided heart failure. I was really scared. I kept texting my husband and my mom, telling them how scared I was, and I was worried that he was gonna grow up without a mom. And then I was worried if, when I did get home, that he wouldn't know who I was. You know, being 27 and a mom and a wife and having that all almost taken away from me. It's scary, and if a vaccine can prevent that from happening, why not? Get your vaccine. I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
A message from the staff of Michigan's Crime Victim Compensation Program.
Anyone can be a victim of crime
and suffer lasting trauma, physically, emotionally, and financially.
But you are not alone.
If you're struggling financially due to a crime,
we're here
for you. Find out if you qualify for crime victim compensation. Call 877-251-7373 or visit michigan.gov/crime-victim.
A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Victim Services.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanted to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
Whether you're the city,
The county.
or the Huron River Watershed Council.
as partners working together to protect our water resources, we agree.
Pet waste is the source of harmful bacteria in the Huron River.
When it's left on the ground, it can wash into the storm drains.
These lead directly to our streams. No filters, no treatment.
Here's one thing we know that can help keep our water clean.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
So pick up pet waste and trash it.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
Who is struggling right now?
I am.
My son is.
Many are struggling with anxiety, depression, and substance use. Before it becomes a crisis, reach out to MyCal, the Michigan Crisis and Access Line for free confidential support 24/7. Available in the Upper Peninsula and Oakland County. Just call or text 1-844-44-MyCal or chat online at michigan.gov/MyCal. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Welcome back to the Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe. Learn more about the program at civiccentertv.com/Megacast, where you'll also find information on our entire network of stations, including My Michigan TV. Joining us now is Teresa Rutt, who is one of many people who played a crucial role in bringing a new Playscape to Children's Park in Lake Orion. Teresa, thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So first, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, and what brought you to Lake Orion.
Yeah, I moved to Lake Orion about 10 years ago and started volunteering shortly after on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. And so I've been on that committee for about 9 years, and 4 years ago ran for Village Council. And so I'm now a Village Council member here in Lake Orion and the representative to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee.
So obviously volunteerism played a big role in your involvement in the community, and that's something that you hold dear to yourself. But what inspired you to run ultimately for Village Council? Because running for local government, it's a position that's not all that much appreciated in many cases. People don't really understand how much work really goes in to representing your community, and so you're taking that volunteerism to a different level when you then are also serving on council. What inspired you to run for office?
Yeah, you know, I never had any type of ambition to run for local office, but started hearing from community members who thought that it might be a good fit for me. And I'm a firm believer too, and that you can't complain about anything if you aren't willing to be involved in something. And so I decided to run and just see what kind of impact I could have on the community, because I really believe in this community. I love this community. I want to be involved in it.
So a new Playscape went up over the weekend. You were part of a volunteer crew of Lake Orion citizens that constructed the Playscape at Children's Park in Lake Orion. Why Children's Park for this Playscape? What presented such a need for this particular Playscape or any sort of Playscape at this park in Lake Orion?
Yeah, Children's Park is our main downtown park. So if you come into downtown Lake Orion, you're going to see it. It's a destination for families. It's right along the Paint Creek, and it is used heavily. It's used by events throughout the year. I mean, the Halloween extravaganza hosted by the DDA brings in thousands of children into that park. Concert series in the summer, just lots of different events. There's been weddings down there. And so it's really kind of the center point, focal point for the community. And the old play structure was starting to deteriorate, not to the point where it was unsafe, but we wanted to replace it before we had nothing there.
We're joined by Teresa Rutt, council member in the Village Council member in Lake Orion, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. The new Playscape is located at Children's Park in Lake Orion. In addition, there's also a Playscape put up at Greens Park as well, correct?
Correct. Yeah, we received a grant from T-Mobile for $50,000 that enabled us to purchase a play structure for a park that didn't have one.
So was that just for Green Park, the $50,000, or was that for both of these parks? How were both of these Playscapes ultimately funded?
Yeah, that was just for Greens Park. If you've ever researched play structures, they're not cheap. And then the DDA, Downtown Development Authority here in Lake Orion, purchased for $78,000 the place equipment for Children's Park here in downtown.
And how did it involve that Lake Orion citizens would be called upon to then help construct this play structure?
Yeah, so we hosted 2 community build days. Part of it is because installation for play structures is quite expensive when you get them professionally installed, but then also because we want the community to take ownership. And that was really the bigger part of it, is when you get a community involved, when they can come down there and say, oh, I built that. There's this piece of ownership and pride in the project and the community that doesn't happen when someone else just comes in and installs it.
We're joined by Teresa Rutt, council member on the Village Council of Lake Orion, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. So did you receive help of some engineers for this? Because for a lack of a better way to word this, how did you know that you were going to be doing the constructing and installing the Playscape, you and other volunteers, and then go about doing that in a way that is safe and proper based on the plans of this Playscape?
Yeah, so our village engineers donated their time to mark out where all the posts went, and our DPW crew pre-drilled all the holes. And then the playground company that we purchased the playground equipment through sent out a representative at Greens Park and then 2 reps for Children's Park that they come and they supervise the build to make sure you're using, you're following the directions appropriately and that everything is safe for the kids.
Teresa Rutt joins us on the Oakland County Megacast, a council member on the Village Council of Lake Orion, joining us on the program. What kind of turnout was there to work on these two projects? Because they're both play structures. They both, I would imagine, require quite a lot of work to put together, just based on what I think of a play structure in a community park. So how many people were involved overall in constructing these 2 play structures at Children's and Greens Parks?
Yeah, at Greens Park, I counted up, we had over 45 people come through over 2 days, come to volunteer to put up that structure. It should have been a 1-day project, but it was a new structure for the company. So the directions were a bit confusing at times, even for our playground rep. And then at Children's Park, I haven't done the numbers, but similar numbers. I'm assuming if I go through and calculate and count up all the volunteers, somewhere around the 45 range for volunteers to come out and build that structure as well.
So you mentioned earlier that T-Mobile provided a $50,000 grant to partially fund the Playscape at Greens Park. How did you go about, or how did the city go about obtaining that specific grant from T-Mobile?
Yeah, T-Mobile has a new hometown grant program where they're giving grants to smaller communities. And so the population of the village here is 3,000. And so we qualified for that grant. I was sent information about it from our executive director for the DDA here in Lake Orion. She sent it to me and said, this could be a great opportunity. And so I consulted with the other Parks and Recreation committee members, and I pulled together a grant application and submitted it to T-Mobile.
So are there plans for other similar projects in the village at this time through Parks and Rec, through the Village Council, or through volunteers in the community that may have worked on this?
Yeah, I mean, there's always things that we could, volunteers that we would love to have. I mean, even things like for park cleanup days that we've hosted a couple of those throughout the time, but something to this scale, a big project, we don't have anything on the docket yet. There's another park that's on, our horizon for the next 3 to 5 years, kind of visiting that park and seeing what we can do, creating a vision for it. We want to, it's a larger park with some ball fields, and we want to really think about the best use for the land before we jump into something. So that's on our radar, to create a comprehensive plan for that park.
Teresa Rutt joins us on the Oakland County Megacast. She is a council member in the Village of Lake Orion, joining us on the program, also a member of their Parks and Rec Committee as well. And so, Teresa, if people are hearing about this in Lake Orion, they're hearing it on Orion Neighborhood Television out there, live to tape on Channel 10. And they're interested in getting involved in something like this. They say, oh, that's a really cool project. That's going to be so great for the community. I wish I would have known. I would have gotten involved. And they want to get involved volunteering either with Parks and Rec or with other committees and other projects in the city. Where can they find more information on these volunteer opportunities?
Yeah, they can connect with the village. Our village website's lakeorion.org, or they're free to email me too, rutt@lakeorion.org. Let me know that they're available and they were looking for a way to get involved, and I can connect them with different places to get involved in the community.
And that email again, rutt@lakeorion.org, RUTT@lakeorion.org for more information, or visit lakeorion.org to learn more about other projects going on in the city and more information about the Village of Lake Orion as well. Teresa, before we let you go, any other pertinent issues at this time or topics we haven't discussed related to Lake Orion that would be important for the audience to be aware of or for us to discuss today?
No, I don't think any major issues, but I just reiterating that I love this community. This community is such a fun place to be, a welcoming community. And I really hope we see you out here. We have the Flower Fair coming up this weekend. Hopefully our safety surfacing for that play structure will be delivered today or tomorrow, and we can get that in. And so come on down, check out the new playgrounds, and enjoy what Lake Orion has to offer.
You can check out those two parks at Children's Park and Greens Park, located in Lake Orion. Teresa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
More information always on their website, lakeorion.org, for more information on everything going on in the village of Lake Orion. We'll take a quick break on the Megacast, and when we return, the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair is coming up, and artist Lilian Delgado's oil-on-canvas art will be some of the thousands of pieces on display in AA. She joins us next on the Oakland County Megacast.
Parents do a lot of worrying. Get your kids caught up on childhood vaccines to protect them from these 14 preventable diseases, and you'll have 14 fewer things to worry about. Vaccines are safe and effective and save lives. So let's get caught up on vaccines and worry about something else. Get the facts at ivaccinate.org.
We may come from different organizations,
but we work together to protect the Huron River for everyone.
Most of the pollution that goes into our rivers is carried by rainwater that flows off of roads, parking lots, and rooftops.
The leaves and bark of a single tree can retain a surprising amount of rainwater. Depending on its size and species, it could be 100 gallons or more.
It is estimated that an urban forest can reduce annual runoff by up to 7%.
Here's one thing that we know can help keep our water clean.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
One of the things you can look for in your friends is a change in behavior. These can be big changes, they can be small changes in mood, physical appearance. They may be sleeping less or sleeping more, drinking more, or their eating patterns may be different. One big change that can be pretty obvious is change in motivation. Do they no longer want to play basketball? Do they no longer want to play video games? Now that we're spending more time online and in virtual settings, it's really important to pay attention to the language that your friend is using and the words they're using to communicate.
So when we text our friends, are they taking longer amounts of time to respond? Are they not responding at all? You don't have to be an expert to try to recognize these signs. The second that you feel it in your gut and that you're concerned, that's the second to have the conversation and open the door to what might be going on.
Whatever gets you talking. Today, it is easier than ever to join Michigan's Organ Donor Registry and help build a bridge of hope for organ, tissue, and eye donation. Just one person can potentially save or help improve the lives of up to 75 people. By joining, your legacy could be the gift of life. Sign up today at michigan.gov/SOS or at any of the more than 145 Secretary of State self-service stations located across Michigan. Be part of Michigan's Bridge of Hope by adding your name to the Organ Donor Registry.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources, call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Whether you're the city,
the county,
or the Huron River Watershed Council,
we work together to protect water resources for everyone.
Most of the pollution entering our rivers is carried by rainwater that runs off roads, parking lots, and rooftops.
A rain garden helps catch stormwater runoff.
Rain gardens and their plants help dirty runoff soak into the ground.
You can do your part to help keep our water clean.
Learn about rain gardens and native plants.
So consider a rain garden in your home landscaping.
Catch the runoff with a rain garden.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
I couldn't breathe at all. There was lots of talk about putting me on a ventilator. I thought I was gonna die. I was 39 weeks pregnant and had a scheduled C-section. During that time, I got COVID and was hospitalized for a month. I had a blood clot in my lungs. It caused me to go into right-sided heart failure. I was really scared. I kept texting my husband and my mom, telling them how scared I was, and I was worried that he was gonna grow up without a mom. And then I was worried if, when I did get home, that he wouldn't know who I was. You know, being 27 and a mom and a wife and having that all almost taken away from me. It's scary, and if a vaccine can prevent that from happening, why not? Get your vaccine. I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
A message from the staff of Michigan's Crime Victim Compensation Program.
Anyone can be a victim of crime
and suffer lasting trauma, physically, emotionally, and financially.
But you are not alone.
If you're struggling financially due to a crime,
we're here
for you.
Find out if you qualify for crime victim compensation.
Call 877-251-7373 or visit michigan.gov/crime-victim.
A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Victim Services.
Welcome back to the Oakland County Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe. To learn more about the program at civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll also find information on our entire network of stations, including My Michigan TV. For 3 days in July, 30 blocks of Ann Arbor will be filled with artists of all kinds of mediums and at all different levels and all different kinds of talents. One of those artists will be oil on canvas artist Lilian Delgado, who joins us now on the Megacast. Lilian, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. First, tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your art and your journey to eventually be joining us at the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair.
Well, I've been painting for about 40-some years now. I started when I was at an early age of 7. And so I lived in South America, and I was exposed to many of the cultural arts there and colors and, environments. And I just grew up with that, and it led me to be and become the artist that I am today.
We're joined by Lilian Delgado, an oil on canvas artist who will be one of hundreds of artists featured at the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair, which will occur on a Friday through a Sunday in July. More information can be found online. To search Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair. And so, how did your upbringing in South America influence the art that you produce and the art that we'll be seeing at the Ann Arbor Art Fair?
Exactly. So one of the early childhood memories that I have is of my mother and I walking in a park called Miraflores in Lima, Peru. And back in the day, they had artists exhibiting there in open air and plein air and painting, and they had many beautiful colors and vibrant colors and flowers, and that's just something that stuck with me from a very young age. And today I paint pieces like the one that you see behind me with flowers and vibrant reds and all kinds of colors. So what really guides me are colors, and I just am really attracted to flowers, and I feel like it's such a not really gender-specific subject, so everybody loves flowers.
Yeah, flowers, they're lively. They have such different personalities based on what kind of flower they are, how they are interacting with the other nature around them. And so as you're producing these pieces and you're emphasizing those flowers and you're emphasizing color specifically as that way to catch the viewer or the consumer's eye, what is your process for making each one of these pieces? Are you going in with some idea of how you're going to emphasize that color, or are you going from composition first and then deciding on how color will influence the ultimate output of that art?
Well, it's funny because people have asked me during the shows if I sketch something out beforehand, and generally the answer is no. The one thing I do know ahead of time is what color palette I'll be using. Excuse me. So I always know before I do the piece. It may turn out to be irises, it may turn out to be poppies, but depending on the color that drives me is what the image ends up being. So composition is very important as I'm doing it, but composition is created through the process, not exactly ahead of time. But it generally ends up, favorable for me. But yeah, color is the most influential part of my painting.
And so you're an oil on canvas artist, and so you're painting using oils. I would assume it is that method, correct?
It is just oils. People ask me if I add any kind of meat to make it thick, and I don't. It's just pure paint. It's hard to appreciate on screen, but if you were in person at the show this coming June, you'll be able to see, July, I believe it is. July, yes. I have so many shows back to back. So at the show, you'll be able to appreciate the texture in the pieces.
And how does that play into using oil paint to create these pieces, to provide that sense of texture? How does that add to those emphases on color and that special composition of these pieces that you have, such as the one that's behind you for those that are viewing this on TV or on the web? How does just the paint itself, the kind of paint that you're using for these pieces, influence ultimately what the outcome of them are and the effect that they have on those that are viewing them and on you as an artist?
Well, first and foremost, it has to be a very heavy-bodied paint. If I were to water it down or oil it down with linseed oil, as I have in the past for other subjects, it doesn't work. So the paint has to be very heavy-bodied, and once you apply it, I apply it all with a palette knife, almost like a cake decorating process. That's how I relate, or to those that are not familiar with the palette knife, I say it's basically sculpting onto a canvas. And the paint being thick allows it to have depth against its contrasts or its complementary colors. So it really adds to the whole process. If the paint were thin and watered down, I don't think I'd have the same effect that I have with the thicker paints.
We're joined by Lilian Delgado, an oils on canvas artist, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. You'll find her art on display as well as the art of hundreds of others all throughout Ann Arbor, 30-block radius, on July 21st through 23rd at the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair. More information can be found on artfair.org. That's right, just artfair.org for more information on the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair and to learn more about Lilian's paintings and her art all around the state of Michigan and around the U.S. and beyond. LilianOilsOnCanvas.com. That's LilianOilsOnCanvas.com is her direct website, so you can learn more about all of her art and what you might be seeing on display in Ann Arbor this July. So you had your first art show. An interesting fact that the king of television, our producer, Larry Nyland, as we call him, put on our sheet, is that you first had your art in an art show when you were 13. Can you tell us about that experience?
Yes, that was very exciting. My mother was very influential in my art career. She encouraged anyone, she'd talk to anybody that would listen. And in Brazil, we were in Brazil one year, and we actually shipped several paintings to Brazil to have this art show. And it happened to be in a 5-star hotel lobby, which was such a great experience for me. I was on their, local television station. I was interviewed, and being so young, it really helped me. More than anything, it encouraged me to continue because people really reacted and liked and responded to my work. I wasn't doing flowers back then, but I did enjoy using the oil paintings, and I did a lot of seascapes because I'm from the state of Bahia, Brazil, that has many beautiful beaches. So back then, my subjects, my themes were beaches, and I loved doing that. So it really did encourage me to continue to do this.
We're joined by Lilian Delgado, an oils on canvas artist that will be featured at the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair occurring July 21st through 23rd in 30 different blocks of Ann Arbor in the downtown area. More information, artfair.org. to keep up to date and learn more about all the art you'll find at the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair this July, and learn more and see some of Lilian's art on display as well, you can visit LilianOilsOnCanvas.com, LilianOilsOnCanvas.com for more information. And so for you, you are a traveling artist too. You go to these art shows all over the place. It's not just Ann Arbor, not just here in the state of Michigan. So for you, what do you take out of traveling with your art and interacting with so many different art lovers in so many different places? And how does that ultimately come back around full circle to influence your art as you're making new pieces going forward?
Well, one of the things that I gain from traveling is getting to know new people, getting to know different clients, or even just people that appreciate my art. And there's always feedback, there's always comments. You also meet other artists in your travels that may do something differently than you do. And, the different sceneries, the different flowers. Traveling to Chicago, for instance, we are in Chicago for the summer, but we travel outside the state of Illinois. And the flowers and tulips and different flowers that we have in Chicago during the spring really are an inspiration to me. And along the side, we always stop along the side of the road to take pictures. I'm always baffled by the beauty of nature. And so it gives me a lot of ideas. And ultimately, I'll end up painting them. So traveling has really expanded my subject matters and my knowledge of nature and flowers.
So we've had other artists that will be featured at the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair on the program, and it's really interesting to hear their story of how they got connected with the Ann Arbor Art Fair and what draws them back if it's not their first time in Ann Arbor for this particular tradition. And so for you, is this your first time participating in the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair? And if not, what draws you back to Ann Arbor and this great Midwestern art tradition?
The people, and it's not the first time. This is probably my third or fourth time at least. COVID kind of messed me up with the counts on things, but no, it's definitely not the first time. And what draws me back is the fact that there are so many people, so many artists. It's obviously a great show. It's very well organized. The organizers are wonderful, and they help us. And anytime you have a smooth process in your load in and your breakdown, it encourages us artists to come back. And it's just something that we all look forward to, is having a smooth experience and a nice experience. And Ann Arbor certainly meets that.
You can find more information about the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair, which will be occurring this summer on July 21st through July 23rd by visiting artfair.org. That's artfair.org. July 21st and 22nd, Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday, July 23rd, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. So a long time on those 3 days you'll have to explore 30 blocks, that's right, 30 blocks of downtown Ann Arbor and see artists such as Lilian Delgado and her Oils on Canvas art. And if you want to preview some of Lilian's art that you'll see at the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair, go to her website, LilianOilsOnCanvas.com, LilianOilsOnCanvas.com for more information. And so do you have any, have you narrowed down, are you sure of what exactly of your pieces you're going to be displaying in Ann Arbor? And if so, what are some of those pieces that you'll be bringing with you to Ann Arbor for those art lovers that will be joining you at the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair?
So I try to take as many pieces as I possibly can just to give people options. This particular piece behind me is one that's available right now, but I can't guarantee that it'll be available by the time I get to Ann Arbor, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm in art shows almost every single weekend before that show, but I will try to produce and finish up. I work on multiple pieces at a time, so I am constantly working on a piece to finish for either the next show or the next week, but I have something going at every moment. So as long as I have this one available, it will definitely be there. But if not, something very similar, very different varieties, colors, and I'm also trying to venture into something more whimsical right now that I'm really enjoying doing. It's my version of abstract flowers, but they're still vibrant, round, textured, so you'll see some of that for sure.
We're joined by Lilian Delgado, an Oils on Canvas artist who will be one of many over at the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair, July 21st through 23rd. at the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair on 30 different blocks of Ann Arbor. Lilian, before we let you go, any other information about your art or other places that people can find your art that we haven't discussed today? If you would like, please take the time to provide that information to our audience.
Well, you mentioned my website, and I've also got a Instagram account, which is Lilian Oils on Canvas as well. And I am, always accepting new followers and always following new people as well. So just follow me there or join my Facebook account, which is Lilian Oils on Canvas.
More information on her website, lilianoilsoncanvas.com. That's lilianoilsoncanvas.com, or you can find more information on the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair at artfair.org. Lilian, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Again, that is Ann Arbor Art Fair. Information on artfair.org. Artfair.org, and you can find her at booth NU786 at the State Street Art Fair as well. It's NU786 is the booth number at the State Street Art Fair, and you can find more information on the Ann Arbor Art Fair, artfair.org, and Lilian's paintings on lilianoilsoncanvas.com. We're going to take a break on the Megacast. On the other side, we'll kick off the Michigan Megacast by talking to the Senior Director of Operations Detroit 9090, Cassandra Washington. That's coming up next on your radio homes for the program, 89.3 WBLD Orchard Lake and 88.1 WBFH Bloomfield Hills. We'll come back in just a few with the Michigan Megacast.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you did. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
Whether you're the city,
the county,
or the Huron River Watershed Council,
as partners working together to protect our water resources, we agree.
Pet waste is the source of harmful bacteria in the Huron River.
When it's left on the ground, it can wash into the storm drains.
These lead directly to our streams. No filters, no treatment.
Here's one thing we know that can help keep our water clean.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
So pick up pet waste and trash it.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
Who is struggling right now?
I am.
My son is.
Many are struggling with anxiety, depression, and substance use. Before it becomes a crisis, reach out to MyCal, the Michigan Crisis and Access Line for free confidential support 24/7. Available in the Upper Peninsula and Oakland County. Just call or text 1-844-44-MyCal or chat online at michigan.gov/MyCal. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Motorcyclists are hard to see. To keep everyone safer, it's important to always look for them and know where most crashes occur. 84% of motorcycle and vehicle crashes happen on streets, not highways. And most crashes with motorcyclists occur when vehicle drivers are turning left. So before turning, especially to the left, make sure you look for motorcyclists. Then look again. It could save a life.
To Sophia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
72.7% of high school students get less than the recommended 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night.
This can cause pain, obesity, and can very negatively affect your mental health. When you have a consistent 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day, you get sick less often, lose more weight, and have better relationships with those around you. For more information about the dangers of sleep deprivation, go to sleepfoundation.org. This message is brought to you by the WBHS Digital Media Arts Program and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Can I ask you a question? Why did you get your kids vaccinated?
It was hard for them to social distance, to be isolated from their friends.
I want them to get back to school and sports games. So as a pediatrician, I recommend the vaccine to everyone I know.
The boys lost a former teammate and classmate who was only 20 years old. It's been a devastating year.
We want to get back to normalcy. Our daughter is really looking forward to being with her friends, being a kid.
Welcome to the Michigan Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe. To learn more about the program at civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll also find information on our entire network of stations, including My Michigan TV. With us now is the Senior Executive Director of Operations Detroit 9090 with University Prep Schools, Cassandra Washington. Cassandra, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you for having me. My pleasure to be here.
I appreciate having you on. So first of all, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you got involved with UPrep.
Sure, absolutely. So once again, my name is Cassandra Washington, and I have had a long career in K through 12 education. I have always had the opportunity to maximize conditions to create scholar success. And so I started out, working in a very large school district in human resources, matriculated through my career, worked a little bit out in Flint and helped them through their transformation of their school district, and then was provided with this excellent opportunity to join the UPrep team and help to continue that work to ensure that scholars have what they need to be successful in life.
More information can be found on uprepschools.com to learn more about University Prep Schools and their programs, admissions, and to donate, as well as other information as well. uprepschools.com for more information. And so, Cassandra, can you tell us a little bit about UPrep and what makes this group unique and what services are provided by University Prep Schools?
Absolutely. So founded in the early 2000s, UPrep Schools is one of Detroit's oldest and largest K through 12 tuition-free charter school network. We are comprised of 3 unique districts and 10 state-of-the-art schools, all located in the heart of Detroit. We have a University Prep Academy, we have a science and math that is STEM focused, and we have an art and design school. And so these are our 3 districts. Our culture is based upon a set of distinctive core values, and it provides a nurturing and cultural responsive educational experience for our scholars. And our 3 districts provide families a choice and opportunity for their scholars to align their individual interests and talents with the UPrep school that's best for them. So this creates an educational experience and partnership and design with the families that gives the best educational experience that excites and inspires young learners.
Cassandra Washington joins us on the Michigan Megacast. She is the Senior Executive Director of Operations Detroit 9090 with the University Prep Schools. More information about UPrep can be found at uprepschools.com. That's uprepschools.com. We can learn about all 3 of their districts and more about, in general, about University Prep Schools on their website. And so, what's interesting, and you mentioned this, you mentioned the 3 different districts and that parents and students can kind of choose the path that they want to go on. If they want more of a University Prep Academy and they want more of a general sense, a wide scope of education, they can go there. They can learn more about art and design as more of a focus, or those STEAM methods, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics at the University Prep Science and Math Academy as well. And so as these different focuses are there, how does that take what we see in the typical school district in a public school or even in a private school and their general education and methods and kind of turn it on its head in a way that really helps kids focus their education but still get those broad strokes that they need to really be that very wide-ranging polymath of a scholar?
Well, our communities, once again, are three distinct districts, art and design, science and math, and University Prep Academy, is a rich educational community where we do have our general studies in place, but our focus is really based upon project-based learning. And so students are, are independent learners. We want to cultivate the culture where they are curious and inspired to inquire about their education. The focus of it is to ensure that, they have a distinct pathway that they can choose, right along the middle school level that they can explore that focuses them on college and career. All the way through to 12th grade. And so just to give you an example, at our art and design school, we are heavily focused on our students participate in the creation of art. Our curriculum is designed to help them explore and see themselves and express their interest through art. They also participate and have a showcase every year, which we do a big event called Night of the Arts. And then also we have our science and math STEM focus that has very specific career pathways where we are focused on gaming that we have. We also have another unique experience that helps them with coding. There are also experiences that provide them with aquatic experience with learning through partnerships with different businesses and organizations. And so, these provide an engaged and unique learning opportunity that takes them outside of the traditional classroom, where they can have hands-on experience through project-based learning, and that prepare them for college and career, and our classes are designed to be small class sizes. So that creates a more unique experience and partnership with their teachers. And here we also have crew that is embedded in our educational structure. So we are really focused on our scholars being seen and heard and supported along the way of their academic journey. So if they have a focus and they want to be a doctor, they can go to our science and math. If they are interested in arts, they can go to our art and design. And also if they want a career in professional services, we have our UPA campus for that as well.
We're joined by Cassandra Washington, Senior Executive Director of Operations Detroit 9090 with University Prep Schools, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information can be found on their website, uprepschools.com. That's uprepschools.com for more information. And what's really interesting about this concept of having these three different districts that allow that focus is that kids can pursue their passions while getting that education at the grade school level and preparing themselves for the next level of their education as well, or for their career path. How do you and your team over there at UPrep Schools find that this format engages students different than a more traditional format, and how does that then help them prepare for that next level of their education or their career path after they get through the 12th grade?
This, like I said, provides a very distinct learning opportunity for them. They can choose the pathway that excites them the most. Our curriculum is designed and focused around those different pathways so that they are engaged and immersed in the day-to-day of learning very specifically, those specific programs. And so also our teachers are recruited and also, assigned in those areas with those very specific backgrounds to provide a expertise and engagement with students so that they can learn, the most up-to-date and knowledge, as well as using state-of-the-art facilities and practice that allows them to not only understand it in theory, but be able to apply it. And then our project-based learning format really helps engage students around learning. they actually can see the results and the evidence of their learning through practice. And this helps to excite, keep them engaged, keep them encouraged, and sets them on the focus in a career pathway of their choice. So at the end, through 12th grade, they have experienced a significant program that equips them with the necessary skills and talents to be successful in their next post-secondary journey.
You have a really interesting event that's coming up this weekend. It's on Saturday, May 21st, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Can you tell us about the event that you have coming up? Experience the U, get the best of Detroit. That's happening this Saturday.
Yes, I am so excited to share with you all about this event that's happening on Saturday. Like you said, Tyler, it's Experience the U, Get the Best of Detroit. It is a combined career and enrollment event. And so we welcome all families who are seeking a new learning community this fall and all job seekers desiring a distinct career choice and opportunity to immerse themselves in Experience the U. So it will be held from 9 to 3 p.m. at all of our 10 U Prep schools located in the heart of Detroit. And so we have segmented this event that we will have a career experience focus at 9 a.m. through noon, and then an enrollment experience focus from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Careers.
And so,
okay, please. No, please continue on. Sorry.
I'm so sorry. So we are requesting that individuals register for this event. Registration does close on Friday, May the 20th at 3 p.m. The purpose for this registration is just to make sure that we get you, set up and aligned to the exact U Prep school that you want to experience on this event. So whether you want to walk through and tour a specific school at one of our 3 distinct districts. Also, a U Prep representative can schedule you if you are a career seeker and schedule your employment interview. And also recommend schools for you to visit based upon your interests, skills, and talents so that you are aligned with a specific focus, again, a pathway for your personal and career goals.
The event is Experience the U, Get the Best of Detroit. It's happening at all 10 of UPrep's campuses in the city of Detroit, Saturday, May 21st, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And as Cassandra said, it's going to be divided into a couple different parts. The career part of this fair, 9 a.m. until 12 noon at all 10 campuses. Then enrollment, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. If you go to their website, uprepschools.com/experience-uprep, that'll take you to the page for this event, or you go to their homepage. Right at the top of the page, they're promoting the event. You click on more info, and you scroll down the page, click on Join Us, and you can register for the event, whether it be for the career side of the event, the enrollment side, or both, and join them at all 10 of their UPrep campuses, Saturday, May 21st, from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Again, careers 9 a.m. until noon on Saturday. Enrollment 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at all 10 campuses. And so for those that are interested in jobs with UPrep, what are some of the positions that are available and some of the requirements or what UPrep is looking for in potential employees?
Oh, absolutely. We are looking for classroom teachers, all content areas, with a special focus on math, science, and special needs for our distinct learners. We're also looking for counselors, support staff, such as paraprofessionals, and we're looking for custodial as well as food service positions. And so some of the requirements can be found, on our career page, but we're looking for individuals who are excited and interested, in a career of teaching, and providing our scholars with maximizing their conditions for success. And so, individuals, some of the qualifications we're looking for are certified teachers. We're also looking for substitute teachers, as well as we have a pathway or opportunity, I should say, for fellows, where we help to individuals reach from, pursue their career in education to become a certified teacher, and so some of the qualifications are, high school diploma, bachelor's degree, certification in the state of Michigan, if you are a certified teacher, and, just providing that on site when you come for an interview, and, and then we will match you with the right school that fits your interests.
We're joined by Cassandra Washington, the Senior Executive Director of Operations Detroit 9090 with University Prep Schools, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information on UPrep Schools at their website, uprepschools.com. That's uprepschools.com. And again, Experience the U, Get the Best of Detroit is an event they're holding this Saturday, May 21st, 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. at all 10 of their UPrep campuses throughout the city of Detroit. More information can be found on uprepschools.com/experience-uprep. That's uprepschools.com/experience-uprep for more information on this event, or just go to their website at uprepschools.com, and they have more information also that you can click through to at the top of the page. And so, Cassandra, a couple more minutes with you before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else about UPrep Schools that we haven't discussed today, or other things coming up down the line, other events that people should be keeping an eye out for if they want to learn more about University Prep Schools? It's 3 different districts on 10 campuses, or other exciting things within UPrep.
Well, yes, I just wanted to once again first thank you for inviting me to be able to share this exciting news. This event is very important that we want to extend to the community. Again, we are comprised of 10 schools, and with everyone so busy juggling work, school, and both, we wanted to do something that was most convenient for our prospective family and employees, that was efficient for our schools, plus, that will provide a up close and personal distinctive opportunity for families to be able to see our schools, and for prospective job seekers to also see where they can call their new community. And so one thing that I wanted to share that was really very special about this event is that our focus is that job seekers can have an interview on site. So we're hiring on the spot. They will leave with a conditional offer for employment, and our families can tour our schools, meet and greet with school leadership, attend live information sessions to experience a day in the life of the UPrep campus, and leave fully enrolled for the next school year. And so once again, while we encourage individuals to register, walk-ins are definitely welcome. And so as a part of our token, for appreciation and to help share with you the best of Detroit, individuals will receive a gift bag that has brand products that are iconic from Detroit. So Faygo, Little Caesars gift card, Better Made chips, things of that nature that just really represents the heart of Detroit. And so once again, I just want to encourage everyone to come out. You can learn more again about UPrep Schools by visiting our website. And as we prepare for the new school year, this is one event that we are hosting May the 21st, but there will be more to come.
And all those events in the future can be found at uprepschools.com. Cassandra, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Tyler.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Again, more information, uprepschools.com, and that event of theirs for those looking for a job in education, or those looking to enroll in a new school and are interested in their 3 different school districts on 10 campuses in the city of Detroit. Their event, Experience the U, Get the Best of Detroit, is happening this Saturday, May 21st, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., with 9 a.m. to noon being for the careers side, and enrollment 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at all 10 of their campuses in the city of Detroit. More information can be found at uprepschools.com. We're going to take a break. On the other side, philanthropy and service. We'll speak to individuals from Grace Centers of Hope and CAPS Remodeling about how they're both together working with each other to support those in need in the Oakland County area, out of the city of Pontiac, and those beyond as well. That's coming up next on the Michigan Megacast.
And so what people do ends up in our waterways.
Flushable wipes are just evil. They should be thrown away. They're impossible to destroy, and they can cause significant problems.
One of the main things when you're cooking is to not dump fats, oils, and greases down your drains.
They stick to the sides of pipes, they stick to everything they come in contact with. Don't put it down the sink.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
We may come from different organizations,
but we work together to protect the Huron River for everyone.
Neighborhood storm drains carry water directly to local creeks and streams. No filters, no treatment.
Storm drains also help reduce street flooding when it rains.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
It is easy to do your part by adopting a storm drain.
Find a storm drain, check it, and clear it every month.
So keep storm drains for rain only.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
We as Michiganders feel connected to this resource in a way that I think is really powerful.
Conservation starts with a caring, committed community.
For me, it's peaceful to have a relationship with the river.
Every single one of us has a role to make sure that those waterways stay safe and healthy, being careful about what goes down the storm drain.
Just even eliminating some of your single-use plastic makes a difference.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
Did you know that nearly 3.31 million Americans don't get their annual checkup? Going to the doctor regularly is extremely important and is a crucial factor in maintaining good health. Make sure you are visiting your local doctor often and telling them about any health concerns you have. For more information, contact your local healthcare provider. This message is brought to you by WBHS Digital Media Arts Program and 89.3 Lakes FM.
People are getting out to walk and bike in higher numbers. More vulnerable road users and higher speed traffic can be a dangerous combination. Crash severity has increased, so if you're driving, be sure to slow down and look for people. There's no need to speed. If you're biking, ride with traffic. If you're walking, avoid stepping into the road if possible. If you have to walk in the street, walk facing traffic. Learn more at walkbikedrivesafe.org.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Welcome back to the Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe. To learn more about the program by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/Megacast, where you'll find more information on our entire network of stations, including My Michigan TV. Well, earlier on in the month, CAPS Remodeling of Madison Heights made a big offer to Grace Centers of Hope. They are willing for the entire month of May to match up to $10,000 in donations to Grace Centers of Hope. So already guaranteeing to give at least $10,000 to the nonprofit based in Pontiac, but they'll match the community's donations up to $10,000 for a potential of $20,000 from CAPS Remodeling individually, in addition to what's provided by the public. Great work that's being done there. We're joined now by both Mark Cunningham, the Director of Donor Relations at Grace Centers of Hope, and Jerry Osceoli, General Manager of CAPS Remodeling on the Michigan Megacast. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining us.
Hi, Tyler. Thank you. Hi, Jerry.
Thanks for having us, guys.
I appreciate having both of you on. So let's start with you, Mark. For those that are unfamiliar with Grace Centers of Hope, what does your organization do? What services do you provide to the community?
So Grace Centers of Hope is a local rescue mission here in Pontiac. We have been here for 80 years now. It's our 80th year anniversary. So we've been doing what we do for a long time. We take men, women, and families who are homeless due to addiction, abuse, lack of education, and bring them into our program. It's a one-year program where they can come in, restructure their lives, get some life skills. It's a faith-based program. They have caseworkers, and we have a daycare and a learning center. If they need a GED, we have a licensed GED center. So they come in and are showered with opportunity. And so that's what we do here at Grace Centers of Hope.
And then Jerry, you are with CAPS Remodeling, but you do a very special kind of remodeling projects. Is what you and your company specialize in. Can you tell us about CAPS Remodeling and the business that you do to help people remodel their homes?
Sure, Tyler. Thanks. Yeah, CAPS Remodeling is a company that does barrier-free remodeling and durable medical solutions for those with physical challenges, whether that be people who have been in car accidents or are just the elderly aging. You know, anybody who has any kind of physical challenge that has any kind of compromised mobility. We provide solutions that allow accessibility and mobility in people's homes and allows them to age in place and stay in their home longer.
So then how did the connection between your organization and Grace Centers of Hope come together? Because you did, we're having both you on together today because CAPS Remodeling announced for the second straight year they're providing a $10,000 matching grant to Grace Centers of Hope. So what connected your organization, your company with this organization and has led to this consistent partnership in donations?
Yeah, our owner, Jeff Cates, has known Pastor Clark, and he had probably met, it has to be probably 10 years or so back. The relationship has evolved over time. Jeff has a faith-based company here that he has set up. He has deep-rooted religious beliefs, as well as the fact that, you know, he's a charitable kind of guy to begin with. He likes to give back. It's in his nature to be that way. And I think when he talked to Pastor Clark, he realized that a lot of times funding for the types of programs that they have set up there at Grace Centers could be challenging. And he stepped up and because of his faith belief, put a donation in place a while back, and I think has increased that donation over time. And then last year, Grace Centers approached us to say, hey, we want to formalize our fundraising. Would you mind, being the kind of like lead sponsor to kick off their match program to try to generate additional funding from organizations? I mean, it's difficult at times because government doesn't supply to funding to religious-based organizations. So a lot of this has to come through private businesses. And I think Jeff realized that. And the other thing, too, is I think Jeff in his history has a circle of dealing with, members in his circle that have had addiction issues and has witnessed firsthand the advantages to having an organization like Grace Centers. So it was a natural fit, being a faith-based company as well as having a generous owner like Jeff is. It just kind of made sense, and there was a nice alignment there.
We're joined by a couple of gentlemen. We're joined by Mark Cunningham from Grace Centers of Hope and Jerry Osceoli from CAPS Remodeling on the Michigan Megacast. More information on Grace Centers of Hope can be found by visiting the website gracecentersofhope.org, and more information on CAPS Remodeling at their website, capsremodeling.com. And so we'll go back to Mark for a moment here. So donations to your organization, it's a nonprofit, so of course donations are a critical method of keeping your services alive and keeping your services moving. And certainly donations from individuals or from families in the community are critical, whether it be a monetary donation or donating their time and volunteering with Grace Centers of Hope. But these sort of these corporate donations from different businesses throughout the community, especially something as substantial as this, $10,000 in donations, once again in a matching donation from CAPS Remodeling for the second consecutive year. How critical are those kinds of donations to being able to sustain your services at the level that you are over the course of time?
Tyler, they are so crucial to us. Jerry mentioned that the government doesn't like to fund faith-based programs, and our program has no government funding at all. We do not receive government funding. We don't ask for government funding. So to have local businesses like CAPS come alongside of us, especially with this generous of a donation, is just crucial. This program survives by people helping people. It's a $7.5 million a year budget. That is a lot of money to raise in 12 months. It is an extreme amount of money. And we do it $2 at a time, $2,000 at a time, $10,000 at a time. They all play a key role. And to have something of this magnitude with CAPS, and they're basically right in our backyard. They're a city or two over. So they're right here in our community, and they're providing for our community, for the folks around us. It's a blessing that we appreciate very much. And the people at CAPS have been very gracious with much more than just these matches as well. So many thanks to Jeff Cates and the team over there.
Yeah, and to continue on with that, it's a matching donation, so up to $10,000 CAPS and Remodeling will match, and so they're always saying we'll give you at least $10,000. So then, how important is it then for the community in this month of May, knowing that that match is there from CAPS and perhaps maybe from other organizations or other companies as well? How important is it in the month of May for people, if they want to donate, and a lot of people will make their donations at the end of the year or right around tax time to be able to fit that into their tax return. But why is May, kind of an odd time for a lot of people generally to make donations, so important given that this match is in place?
That's a great point, Tyler. It is a crucial time frame as well, because summertime it's hard to raise money. And during the holidays and the cold weather, people feel that pull at their heart, like, oh, you know, the people there, the homeless, they need food, they need shelter, they need warm clothes. And so they're very generous at that time of year. But when it comes to be spring and summer, it's much harder to raise money. So to have somebody like CAPS come and say, we're going to give you that $10,000 match, and then somebody who's maybe on the fence or maybe not sure, do I want to donate now, do I not want, and they see the opportunity to double their donation, it really does work. It works very well. We came up with this a couple of years ago, and it works very well to raise money, especially during these harder times, harder months of the year. So it's very crucial. And I'm glad you brought that timing point up, because like I say, people are very generous at holiday, Christmas, end of year for tax breaks. So this time of year, we need to continue to let people know that there's people struggling, people right here in our community struggling, men, women, and kids coming into our program, living in the backs of a car or under a freeway overpass. They don't just come in the winter, they come all year long, you know, and the men and women come all year long, and they need your support.
We're joined by Mark Cunningham from Grace Centers of Hope. He is the Director of Donor Relations. We're also joined by the General Manager of CAPS Remodeling, Jerry Osceoli, on the Michigan Megacast. So Jerry, tell us about the decision for CAPS to do a matching donation, because on the one hand, you can just make a donation as a company to an organization that's substantial and have your company's name on it. But why what was the ultimate decision and motivation behind saying, not only are we going to make this donation, but up to this certain amount that we're willing to donate ourselves in this base donation, we'll also match donations from the community?
Yeah, I think the foundation of it really goes back to Jeff Cates, our owner's relationship with Pastor Clark. I think over time, you know, witnessing firsthand the capabilities and the offerings that Grace Centers provides for those in need really kind of hit close to home. The donation size probably has increased over time because of seeing the direct value of those contributions that are made. And then logically, a couple of years back, as Mark had mentioned, we thought this would be a great kickstart to increase fundraising to try to get other companies involved in donating. So it really wasn't the dollar amount. It was really just kind of more of a platform to be able to say, our boss, our owner believes in this, and others who would get close to the program would also understand the value. And I think witnessing it firsthand and being close to it made it an easy decision to do. And the fact that they created this platform to do a match program just seemed like a logical extension to try to get others involved.
And then Mark, just going back to you, we mentioned so much throughout this interview the importance of those donations, but what's also important for Grace Centers of Hope is people donating their time and donating their energy to helping the programs that are being run by Grace Centers of Hope run smoothly and providing that support to the organization that otherwise, if they do have to go out and they have to pay for these services, can be another substantial hit to that $7.5 million yearly budget. How important is people's time in terms of donations and volunteering opportunities to operations of an organization like Grace Centers of Hope?
You're so right, Tyler. It's not only money that makes this program run, it is donations such as food and clothes, but it's also the volunteers. We have hundreds, probably thousands of volunteers a year come and give their time. We have 2 kitchens. We have a men's center and a women's center. They serve 3 meals a day at each one. So we have volunteers come in at lunch and at dinner. They come to make meals, prepare meals. Sometimes they bring the food with them. They serve our men, they serve our women, they fellowship with them. Right now, we have just purchased our 57th house. And all of our houses surround the mission right here in Pontiac. So we have 57 homes that our residents can move into. Once they leave the 1-year program, they can stay 2 additional years. We call it aftercare. You come and you pay a nominal rent. It gradually gets you back into the adulting part of life. And with 57 houses, we just don't have the manpower to take care of all those, to rake the leaves in the fall, to paint the porches. So things like that, plant flowers, spread mulch. So the volunteers that come and do that work on our streets, that keep our homes and the yards and the surrounding lots in just beautiful condition. It's a blessing and such a necessary part of what we do is the volunteers. And it's an incredible to see, especially in the summertime. You could go outside in our streets or in one of our buildings, see 40, 50, maybe 100 volunteers in a day working out there to help us out. And we appreciate all of that, for sure.
We'll go back to Jerry for just a moment. We have a few more minutes left in the interview before we let both of you gentlemen go. Jerry, before we say goodbye to you, what does it mean to how can we find CAPS Remodeling online, and if people want to employ the services of CAPS Remodeling in their home, maybe they are someone with limited mobility, or they are someone with a physical disability or a mental disability, that may be in need of your services. How can they go about doing that?
Yeah, I think first of all, the best thing to do is when there's a need there, simple things like accessibility into the home, ramps, grab bars, things that make homes safe for those with those compromised mobility challenges. If you know you're in a situation like that, the best thing to do is to call our office line here, 248-246-1669, or you can even go online at www.capsremodeling.com and you get the general information and a feel for our services. And then obviously we have people here at our office that are certified and ready to answer any questions, even if it's in a consultative manner or actually specific questions about mobility challenges, needs, or things that they might find they need around the home.
More information also on the website, capsremodeling.com. Jerry, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then Mark, for you, just before we let you go, anything else at this time that would be important for people to be keeping in consideration about Grace Centers of Hope as we head in to the thick of spring and head towards summer?
If you have a garage sale, you have a spring cleaning, you're not sure what to do with all that leftover stuff, we have 4 thrift stores that bring in a good part of our budget too. You can go on our website at gracecentersofhope.org. You could find our thrift stores on there to donate your items. You can find the volunteer hub on there if you would like to come and volunteer. And so gracecentersofhope.org, and go on there any time of year. We need your support. We need your help. And also a quick shout out to Royal Oak Kimball High School. Tyler, you might not know this, but Jerry and I went to high school together and graduated together. How about that for God's path to bring
You're going way back, Mark.
I am. I mean, what is that, 15 years ago, Jerry?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'll buy that.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, so that's really cool.
Yeah, some special info too. Calvin Brown, our technical director here, said he went to high school there?
Yeah, he went to ROHS.
Okay, it did turn into the high school, so he went to high school there. So big connection.
Awesome. Same building.
There you go, same building, right? There you go. So, but thank you, Tyler, so much for having us on. Jerry, thank you for all the support to you and Jeff and everybody there. And thank you to everybody that comes to Grace or will come to Grace because of this, volunteer support, donations, monetary support, and we appreciate it all. Thank you very much.
We appreciate you as well for joining us. Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Jerry, for joining us on the program. More information can be found by searching Grace Centers of Hope or by viewing their interview on demand on our website, civiccentertv.com/megacast. We'll take a break, and on the other side, we'll speak with the founder and executive director of the Bailey Park Neighborhood Development Corporation. Cassandra Washington joins us next. You're watching and listening to the Michigan Megacast.
Parents do a lot of worrying. Get your kids caught up on childhood vaccines to protect them from these 14 preventable diseases, and you'll have 14 fewer things to worry about. Vaccines are safe and effective and save lives. So let's get caught up on vaccines and worry about something else. Get the facts at ivaccinate.org.
We may come from different organizations,
but we work together to protect the Huron River for everyone.
Most of the pollution that goes into our rivers is carried by rainwater that flows off of roads, parking lots, and rooftops.
The leaves and bark of a single tree can retain a surprising amount of rainwater. Depending on its size and species, it could be 100 gallons or more.
It is estimated that an urban forest can reduce annual runoff by up to 7%.
Here's one thing that we know can help keep our water clean.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
One of the things you can look for in your friends is a change in behavior. These can be big changes, they can be small changes in mood, physical appearance. They may be sleeping less or sleeping more, drinking more, or their eating patterns may be different. One big change that can be pretty obvious is change in motivation. Do they no longer want to play basketball? Do they no longer want to play video games? Now that we're spending more time online and in virtual settings, it's really important to pay attention to the language that your friend is using and the words they're using to communicate.
So when we text our friends, are they taking longer amounts of time to respond? Are they not responding at all? You don't have to be an expert to try to recognize these signs. The second that you feel it in your gut and that you're concerned, that's the second to have the conversation and open the door to what might be going on.
Whatever gets you talking.
Welcome back to the Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe. To learn more about the program by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find more information on our entire network of TV, radio, and web outlets that join us every day, including My Michigan TV, otherwise known as My. Joining us now is Cassandra Watkins. She is the founder and executive director of the Bailey Park Neighborhood Development Corporation and joins us now on the Megacast. Cassandra, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Tyler, for having me here.
Appreciate having you on. So first, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you came to find the Bailey Park Neighborhood Development Corporation.
Well, I live in the McDougall-Hunt neighborhood located in Detroit. I'm a former therapist and teacher, and I founded Bailey Park, originally Bailey Park Project in 2013 after talking to my neighbor about the state of the neighborhood. It was kind of overgrown at that point, and I was basically just complaining about it. And she said, you know what, stop complaining. Just, start a nonprofit and do something about it. And that's where I started. So I started a nonprofit and just started doing, vacant lot cleanups just right on my street with my neighbors.
And so there's so many different ways that the Bailey Park Neighborhood Development Corporation helps support the McDougall-Hunt community in Detroit. And so can you provide us with some insight into the services and supports that are provided to the community through this organization?
Okay, well, we're developing a park, which is one of the major things that we're doing. We also have a community resilience hub where we provide many of our services. We do, we give away food to residents. We do monthly food boxes. Not only that, we provide hot meals to seniors and homebound people who can't get out. And maybe, we give them a food box, but they can't cook the food. So we decided to start preparing like hot meals for those residents who need that type of help. In the summertime, we did summer camp for kids. We run a savvy tech class for seniors to teach them how to stay connected. And those are the type of resources that we have. We help with, we have workforce development. We have a community landscaping program where we cut grass for residents and maintain vacant lots. And we also connect with other nonprofits outside of the neighborhood to help them to learn how to do the same thing and improve their neighborhood.
These programs are extensive and they're far-reaching in so many different areas that are, in some cases, really helpful to people, and others can be not just helpful but critical to their daily life and to their survival. And so I would imagine that volunteerism plays a huge role in your organization's ability to support those in the McDougall-Hunt neighborhood and provide these services in a wide-ranging scale. Just how important are volunteers to the Bailey Park Neighborhood Development Corporation and the efforts that you're putting in to support so many people and provide these services to so many people in your community?
Well, I can't even really express how important volunteers are. We are a small organization. We have 3 employees. So having volunteers come in to provide services is really important. We're always working towards growing our list of volunteers. We've been successful at working with students and colleges, with them coming in to help us to help implement certain programs. But I can't express how important it is to get people to volunteer to come into the neighborhood to provide services. It also helps us to expand, our programming with volunteers. We really can't do it without volunteers.
And so what sort of volunteer opportunities are there? If people are interested, do they have to be in the McDougall-Hunt neighborhood to be volunteering with your organization? Do they have to be in the city of Detroit?
Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not. We work with volunteers from all over. Of course, if people are hands-on, we're doing a lot with environment and sustainability, with planning, with gardening. We're doing a project where we're going into the neighborhood and installing downspout extensions and teaching the youth how to do that. So we also like to work with youth volunteers and youth groups who come in, but with the landscaping, with the planning, even if it's just wanting to do art, we have, volunteers who come in and do art activities for youth and seniors. So it's just a variety of different ways that people can come in and volunteer and to share their skills and their knowledge.
We're joined by Katrina Watkins, the founder and executive director of the Bailey Park Neighborhood Development Corporation, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information can be found on volunteer opportunities, on programs, on resources, and how you can donate and support the organization at baileyparkndc.org. That's baileyparkndc.org for more information on the Bailey Park Neighborhood Development Corporation and how you can get involved and help them in everything that they're providing. And you mentioned it earlier, Bailey Park gives your monthly meal boxes, which can help people that are homebound or people that are in a situation where they're experiencing food insecurity, which we know is such a critical issue in so many places across Michigan and across the U.S. And so these services are really important to so many people. And so if someone is in the McDougall-Hunt neighborhood, and they're in need of this service, or a loved one of theirs may be in need of this service, a neighbor may be in need of this service, how can they go about signing up for this, and what sort of requirements are there in order for this service to be provided to them in this neighborhood?
Okay, well, just living in a neighborhood makes you qualify. So we don't have any type of income requirements. You can always go online to our website, which is baileyparkndc.org, baileyparkndc.org, and we have an application there that people can fill out. Everyone's not that literate or have access, so we also have a phone number. You can call us at 1-313-437-2020.
Again, that phone number, 313-437-2020, 313-437-2020. More information also available online, baileyparkndc.org. Katrina Watkins, founder and executive director of the Bailey Park Neighborhood Development Corporation, is joining us on the Michigan Megacast. And another plan that's coming down the docket too is the McDougall-Hunt Sustainable Redevelopment Plan. Can you talk about that? Because you mentioned earlier when you were talking about some of your motivations for beginning this organization, that dealing with some of those issues and redeveloping part of your neighborhood to make it a more sustainable neighborhood, to make it the environment in that neighborhood specifically for those that are living there more prudent to daily life. So what is this redevelopment plan, the sustainable redevelopment plan? What are the plans and how are they being executed by your organization?
Okay, so the redevelopment plan is our master plan for the neighborhood, how we want to do things basically. So out of that implementation plan, that master plan, we have about 4 different buckets that we function out of to help us accomplish our goals. We have our open space, which focuses on the open space in the neighborhood, the vacant lots. So it's not just clearing the lots, it's beautification, helping residents to beautify their side lots, encouraging them to purchase their lots. We also have residential services, which focuses on the services that residents need. And one of those main services is home repair. So after talking to residents, we knew we need home repair. So now we have a home repair program where we assist residents with minor home repair. And we're always fundraising for that. We also have commercial, where we want to also work with the commercial corridor and see what, businesses need. How can we bring more businesses to the neighborhood? And then we have a housing bucket where we want to eventually build up density in the neighborhood. So that would be to try to bring in affordable housing into the neighborhood. So working out of those buckets, we hope to better serve residents. We also encourage residents to participate and volunteer and to be on those committees because we want to hear their voice.
And you can have your voice heard and support this organization in that capacity by going to their website, baileyparkndc.org, and selecting Become a Volunteer. That's baileyparkndc.org, or by calling their phone number, 313-437-2020. That's 313-437-2020 for more information and how you can get involved in many of the great programs that they are enacting in the McDougall-Hunt neighborhood and in the surrounding area. Katrina, for those out in the community that are hearing this and maybe learning about the Bailey Park NDC for the first time and are as interested as I am in this and are as compelled as I am in this, or as others may be, and they want to get involved, they want to help the organization, what are the best ways that people in the community that may be watching this or listening to this can support your organization?
Well, they can always support with the donation, is great, but we always love people to come in and volunteer. They can support. Saturday, we're having an event. It's our first annual Beautification Day. We're not only cleaning and refreshing Bailey Park, we're going to be doing minor home repair throughout the neighborhood, planting flowers for seniors, and just making our neighborhood beautiful. We do that monthly, not this big day, but we do a cleanup every month. We do something in the neighborhood, and we're always looking for volunteers for that. And people can volunteer in so many different ways. It's not like you have to clean up. Sometimes it could just be kind of sitting at the registration table, helping us register people for events. We have fun events too that we're always looking for volunteers to help with.
The McDougall-Hunt Beautification Day, Saturday, May 21st, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. That's Saturday, May 21st, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. You can register for the event to lend a hand or get a hand on their website, baileyparkndc.org. That's baileyparkndc.org. And again, for those without access to the internet, you can also inquire about this event and other events through the Bailey Park Neighborhood Development Corporation by calling their phone number 313-437-2020. That's 313-437-2020. Katrina, just another couple minutes with you before we'll say goodbye. Anything else that we haven't touched on about your organization today that would be important for our audience to know or to be considering at this time?
We touched on everything, but I would say it's really important, if you can, to make a donation. We are funded through grants, and we're always fundraising so that we can continue to do the good work in the neighborhood and throughout the city of Detroit that we do.
Katrina, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Learn more information about how you can support the organization and get involved on their website, baileyparkndc.org. You can also find them on sharedetroit.org, where they are one of 299 charities and nonprofits in Detroit and the metropolitan area that are supported on the Share Detroit platform. You can go there, learn more about the organization, get in contact with the organization. You can make a donation from the Share Detroit website. You can also find their Give Shop website with some helpful items that they may be in need of to continue to provide support to those in McDougall-Hunt neighborhood in Detroit as well. ShareDetroit.org, click on their Find a Nonprofit section and search for Bailey Park Neighborhood Development Corporation, or just search Bailey Park, or visit their website, baileyparkndc.org. That is going to do it for this Wednesday edition of the Michigan Megacast and the Oakland County Megacasts. You can learn more information about the program and find all of our full episodes and each individual interview on demand at civiccentertv.com/megacast. In addition to those episodes, we have links to each and every one of our partnering TV, radio, and web outlets. You can learn more information about the original programming that they're airing in the other 22 hours of the day, Monday through Friday, that they're not with us for the marathon that is the Oakland County and the Michigan Megacasts, and learn more about the other services that they're providing to their communities in assigned areas throughout Oakland County and around the state of Michigan. CivicCenterTV.com/megacast. Also, highly encourage you to go to our coronavirus information page on our local news page at CivicCenterTV.com/local-news. There at the top of the page, we have links to the CDC, the MDHHS, and the Oakland County Health Division's COVID-19 specific web pages so that you can stay up to date on everything that you need to know about COVID-19 information as it changes over time and as things change in your neighborhood and your area of Michigan and the U.S. CivicCenterTV.com/megacast/local-news for all of that information. In addition, we post articles from journalistic outlets across the Great Lakes State every day before our program to keep you up to date on everything that's making news, in addition to the news related to COVID-19. CivicCenterTV.com/local-news. Big thank you to everyone that joined us on the program today. Katrina Watkins from Bailey Park Neighborhood Development Corporation, Mark Cunningham from Grace Centers of Hope, and Jerry Osceoli from CAPS Remodeling, Cassandra Washington from University Prep Schools as well, Lilian Delgado, a oils on canvas artist who will be at the Ann Arbor Original Street Art Fair in July, and Teresa Rutt, Village Council member in the village of Lake Orion. You can find all those on our website, CivicCenterTV.com/megacast sometime this afternoon. Big thank you to our crew as well. It makes this program possible every day. Calvin Brown, our technical director, with me in the studio for the full 2-hour marathon. Jared Clark, our Zoom producer at the office of My Michigan TV. And of course, the king of television himself, Larry Nyland, booking all the guests and helping them and us be ready for informative conversations on a number of different topics every day. On My Michigan TV, Steve Lato Live is coming up next, followed by Larry and Ronnie Live. We'll return on Thursday with another Megacast.